Dito. Dali tayo. Different parts of research paper. But before that, kailangan mo nang mag-like kayo sa ating Facebook page. Hanapin muna natin ha. UMKE Research. Ano ba mo? Kindly follow first our Facebook page, UMKE Research. Okay. And then, hanapin natin asa tong the link for the letters and form certification. Ito yung link. Lagay na lang natin ito sa inyong classroom. Saan na ito ibutang? Mga forms and templates nandito, ha? Research. Forms and templates. Okay, nandito yung mga forms and templates, appointment letter, approval and endorsement, certificate of appearance, editor, etc. Hanapin natin ang asa to. Hindi ko makita. Naa daw diri ang agenda, research agenda. Asa namang research agenda diri, ha? Research agenda. Wala man. Wala may agenda. Portfolio checklist. Tingnan natin. Dara. For the agenda, kini mo ni siya class. Sa ating title defense, no? Kasi una kasi yung title defense. So, I will also put it in your classroom. So, research forms and templates. This one is, this is for title defense agenda. And research agenda. Okay? Pero naarag yun na sa inyong FB page. Ha? Hanapin nyo lang talaga sa FB page. Kompleto yan siya. So, I also put it in your classroom. Ito yung mga forms. Ito yung research agenda ng University of Mindanao. Pwede tayo Institutional Research Agenda, mga sustainability or sustainable development. Sustainable industries and technology, like green technology, innovation, sustainable economy, pwede. Sustainable environment, sustainable institutions, sustaining gains, or pwede din tayo from our KI research agenda, accounting measurement and firm evaluation, accounting and financial forecasts, accounting for intangible assets, accounting, educational issues and direction, behavioral research in accounting, capital market reactions to accounting pronouncement, ang dami, no? Corporate reporting and disclosure, corporate governance and ethics, corporate performance evaluation, employee stock option valuation, financial reporting issues, strategic choice of information technology investment, we have government accounting, we have environmental accounting, okay, ang dami. Strategic management accounting, accounting for SME issues, financial literacy, pero dili na kayo ni, please, no? Huwag na kayong mag-financial literacy kasi bugbog na ito. We have external and internal audit issues, taxation issues, risk management, inventory management, quantitative analysis, creative accounting. Ayan, so yun ang ating mga agenda. So you just choose that one. Okay. Ayan, no? So, dito tayo sa unit learning outcome number 3. Ma-record pa siya. Ito ang ating learning outcome that determine the different parts of your research paper. Okay? So, we have different parts of a research paper, title page. So, siguro tingnan natin siya using a sample book paper, no? Para makita ninyo. Anyway, I record also this, no? So, pwede natin siya i-go over later. Pwede siya ma-open. Okay, ayan, na-open na siya. So, ano natin, no? So, the first prescribed format is the title page. Ayan. So, title page. Ito yung title page natin. Okay? So, your title, we have the University of Mindanao, an undergraduate thesis presented to the Faculty of College of Accounting Education, submitted by your names. So, you also put your advisor, and then kailan ma-finish ang research. So, sa kanila, January. So, siguro sa inyo, March, no? And then, if you have already your code, pero wala pa kayong code. Pero lagyan talaga si advisor, ha? You put your advisor in the title page. Ayan. So, saan ito makikita if ever makalimutan? I think there is also here in the forms. Meron tayong cover page. Kulang lang ito, class, ang advisor name. Nakulangan ito, hindi pa siya na-update, pero sa inyo, dapat lagyan ng advisor. Okay, who is your advisor if ever meron na kayong advisor. Pero kung title pa tayo, wala pa tayong advisor, no? So, kung wala pang advisor, ignore mo na siya. No? Only this one, your names. Pero kung mabigyan na kayo ng advisor, dapat ilagay talaga sino yung advisor. Okay? This is, saan naman to? So, that's title page. Then, next is abstract. Abstract is a brief summary of a research article, your thesis, your review, the conference proceedings or any in-depth analysis of a particular subject, and is often used to help the reader quickly ascertain the paper's purpose. So, sample natin dito. Meron tayong sample of the abstract. Kini mga acceptance and approval, pag ano na ito, for booking na, no? So, and acknowledgement sa booking na ito. Ito yung abstract. So, usually, si abstract natin, one space lang. We are using Arial font. Arial font tayo na Times New Romans. Okay, so, in your paper, even in the title, yung title defense and your outline defense, you use Arial font 12. Okay? Ang kining abstract, you will only make an abstract after gathering the data. No? If there are already results, so you can already make an abstract. Kasi summary siya, no? So, sa inyo wala pa kayong abstract. So, dito makikita yung overall objective. So, sabi, the study aims to determine the significant influence of BIR electronic filing utilization on the tax compliance of self-employed individuals in Davao City. So, ito yung general objective. Okay, ibibigay din, ano yung method nga ginamit, postal method and the techniques, or nilagay din, purposive sampling techniques to specifically target the intended respondents. Okay, and then binigay, depende sa ima kung ilagay mo kung sino yung mga respondents mo, and then survey questionnaire, and then anong ginamit niya, mean and regression. Nilagay din ang findings. Okay, the findings of the study revealed, ito yung findings. No? And then, your conclusion, hence, tax compliance was highly influenced. So, yun, ito yung mga conclusion. And then, if there are recommendations, simple recommendations. So, the researcher recommends that self-employed taxpayers, etc. So, yan. So, nandito yung objectives, the type of your summary, no? Type of your study, your respondents, the findings, and nilagay ng conclusion and simple recommendation. And then there is also keywords. Okay? Usually the keywords class, they are arranged alphabetically. Wala niya na arrange, no? So, pwede naman gihapon ni siya. Wala man siya format. Usually, ang Davao City sa last. Saan siya nga location. So, ito yung abstract natin. And then, next. Chapter 1, Introduction. So, rationality of the study is the reason for conducting the study. This should answer the need for conducting the said research. So, it justifies the significance and novelty of the study. So, dito yung mga research gap. So, let's look on, yes, rationale. Asan itong rationale? Okay, hindi ko na nakita dito. Okay, of course, napay mga table of contents, no? Kining table of contents, dito, ito na yung pwede man siya sa outline, naagyapon siya. And then, the final defense, no? Naapod siya. Okay? So, rationality of the study. No? Usually, the rationality of the study, there would be 4 to 5 paragraph. Pila man yung paragraph. So, tingnan natin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 paragraph lang siya. Pero, max natin is 5. So, pwede tayo 4. The first paragraph will mention the dependent variable, usually dependent variable. The second paragraph will mention the independent variable. The third is the relationship between the dependent and the independent variable. And the fourth would be your research gap. So, you can also refer to, tingnan natin sa inyong ka-research. Napo na siya diri. So, forms. Let's look on the checklist. Kini ha? Checklist. Nana siya sa checklist. I will also put it here if in case you will forget it. Okay, daghan man good kay siya matanawon, no? So, if ever you will forget, the checklist. So, ito yung parang blueprint ninyo, checklist for CAE research. Okay. So, ito. Siya, no? Naa siya here. Sabi, the title is less than 15 words long. So, when you are choosing for the title, dapat 15 words. So, na ang variable, pwede din, may design or statistical tool. Basta 15 words lang siya. Okay? Title is written in an inverted pyramid style. Formal for quantity, creative for qualitative. Okay, rationally, problematic situation, the opportunity, exploration, the gap. Hindi nilagay kung ano ang first, second, and third, fourth variable. Wala siya gibutang. Wala siya gibutang here. Pero, hindi siya nilagay. Hanapin ko muna yung notes ko. Para at least when you are making rationally na, say mag-title defense kayo, where is my notes? Wala siya gibutang, no? Okay. Tama na. Klase na si Daddy. Okay? So, I will write it down, ha? I-screenshot na lang ninyo. 14 page. Ano siya, no? So, sa rationality tayo, ha? Kasi ito yung common na hahanapin sa inyo when you have your title defense and your outline defense. So, paki-screenshot lang ha if I am done with the typing. So, in the first paragraph, kasi hindi nilagay sa ano, you clearly state the problem. Clearly state the problem, issues in connection with the anyway, recorded siya no, na-record that. Ang problema lang sa Google Scholar, sa Google Google Meet, hindi siya ma-record. Isip pa rin ako siya record with the dependent variable or the main variable with sources. Of course, with sources, yan. So, yung sources, every paragraph natin, 2 or 3, basta there is a minimum of 2 authors, 2 or more. 2 or more as much as possible. So, 2 or more authors per paragraph. Per paragraph, yan. So, clearly state the problem, issues in connection with the dependent variable, the main variable with sources. So, looking to our sample, tingnan natin na. Kasi yung dependent at saka independent variable, naano na siya sa title. So, effect of BIR utilization on tax compliance. The tax compliance is the dependent variable. And then, the effect of BIR utilization, this is the independent variable. Okay? Dependent variable, nagbabari siya based on the utilization. No? Based on the independent variable. So, sa first paragraph, more on tax compliance ka. No? Tax compliance. More on the dependent variable. Sa rationality, I'm talking about the rationality. So, tax compliance, ano. There are problems on tax compliance, ano. Pwede on the first paragraph. Kasi you clearly state the problem, the issues in connection with your dependent variable or the main variable with sources. So, let's look muna. Tingnan natin ang rationality niya in the first paragraph. Okay, so tax compliance. So talking about tax compliance, so being serious problem, etc., etc. One of the factors, more on the first paragraph sa dependent variable. Okay, klaro yan ha. The second paragraph, The second paragraph, you discuss the importance of studying the dependent variable or the main variable and the contributions of studies about it. Okay? Discuss the importance. So, it's very important to study this one, ana-ana. Parang, napo siya connection with the first paragraph. Pero pwede man po ni siya in the second paragraph, ma-mention na po ang imuhang independent variable. Pwede siya ma-mention in the second. Okay? Of course, the importance of studying the main in relation also to your independent variable. Second. In the third paragraph, you describe the theories. Ang iban, wala naman yung nag-describe sa theories. So, ang i-describe lang dito is the mga prepositions. Yung iba, ha? Wala na nag-mention ng theories here. Pero pwede din tayo mag-describe kay ang theory manggod na manggod po siya sa theoretical framework, no? So, pwede din in brief lang, dili ko siya in detail, no? Describes the theories. Kasi, ang usual namin, assumptions tayo or the propositions. Propositions. Studies about the dependent, DV is dependent variable or the main variable. You will also put the implications of previous studies. Previous studies leading to the rationality of the study. So, mga dito naman, according to author 1, there is relationship, significant relationship of your independent variable to your dependent variable. Author 2 also says that there is inverse ana-ana, no? But author 3, the but, may mga situations here in the third paragraph. So, let's look, ha? Ano bang ginamit niya sa third paragraph? Okay? Wala kayo niya bibutang ang mga relationship. Pero sa third dapat mga mga prepositions of the different author regarding your variables na siya. So, anyway, okay lang din siya, no? Describe the theory, the assumptions. So, mga example natin dito. Author 1 talks about tax compliance in relation to author 2 also talks about tax compliance in relation to ganon. And author 3, tax compliance, girelate niya to what? And then author 4, pod, or different, there are several authors relate the tax compliance towards efficiency, towards different author yan. So, nandito sa third paragraph. That will lead to your rationality of the study. So, makakaingon na ka in the fourth. However, sa fourth, maingon na ka mention na ka on the research gap. Mention the research gap. Okay? What is lacking or not yet explored about the topic? Okay? What made the study unique? Okay. What made the study different or unique? Different or okay. Your study, but you will not use first person, ha? You just use third person. Unique or different from the existing literature. And then, what is the reason for conducting the study in your locale, in the research locale, in your locality? So, Ganon. Nandito ang research gap in the fourth paragraph. So, kung mag-fifth gihapon ka, pwede man din mag-fifth paragraph. Still more on gap pa rin yan. No? So, gap pa rin yan kung mag-fifth paragraph ka in your rationality. Okay, tingnan natin ang sample. With this, cited, etc. This has lead government. These results are ini. While international studies talk about tax compliance, perceived effect, filing to such are available, e-filing pod, ana. This provided a reason for the researchers. So you use third person, do not use I, we, do not use that one. To investigate this topic by determining and assessing the effect of utilizing BIR e-filing on the tax compliance of taxpayers in a specific sample within the Philippines. The study also intended to focus on how the researchers can contribute to the further awareness and utilization of BIR e-filing to the extent of tax compliance betterment, persuading taxpayers to comply with taxes, specifically the self-employed individuals situated in Davao City. So, ganun. Ang fourth paragraph, more on the research gap. Okay? Question. Wala. So, yan. Next is the objectives of the study. Pero careful tayo ni I think this is an old format. There is a new format. Kasi, new format of the outline defense. Tingnan natin kung naaba ni siya diri. Wala ni nabutang diri ba? I will put here. Lagay na lang natin. Saan ko ba siya ilagay? Gana kay mga link, no? Sige, okay lang na siya. Kayo na mag-filter, ha? So, I will put kasi na ay format pa. Harvard referencing. I will put it here. Thesis checklist outline proposal. And I will also put the Harvard referencing. Okay? Okay. If you will click this, tingnan lang natin ha kay basig na ay mga old format. Naanagi siya dali no. Research gap empirical study yung naa siya. Moni ang new format. Introduction. Wala kayo siya gi-emphasize. Muna yung uban naglibog. Let's look. Another one. I-format na lang ninyo based on the outline defense format. Ito talaga. Ilagay ko na lang siya dito siguro. For outline ito, as much as possible, i-format na ninyo ang title defense parang outline. No? As much as possible. Pero the title defense, more on title lang man siya and rationally. No? Pero lagay na lang natin. Para ready kayo for outline. No? So, background of the study, literature review, ito na yung bago. Okay. Background of the study. Background of the study is parihar po rationally, ha? Rationality of the study. So, four paragraph. Kaya na, ha? So, objectives of the study. These are the research objectives. Describe concisely what the research is trying to achieve. They summarize the accomplishments a researcher wishes to achieve through the project and provides direction of the study. So, yan ang objectives of the study. So, sa new format, meron tayo, parihara. Objective of the study, general objective and specific objective. Nagbago kasi yung format, no? Hindi siya na-change. Okay, let's look. Ito. This is the general objective. Ito yung general objective. The research study aims to determine the significant influence of BIR. Example natin, no? E-filing utilization on tax compliance of self-employed individuals in Davao City. Specifically, this is the specific objective. The study aims to achieve the following objectives. No? So, ito yung usually, this is our independent variable, the first one, to determine the level of BIR e-filing utilization. So, independent yan. And this one is our dependent variable, the tax compliance in terms of that one. And the third is the relationship or significant influence of the independent and the dependent variable. Okay? So, ganito ang ating objective. So, dapat, when you will also looking for your researches, you will also look for your objectives. Okay? Yan, objectives of the study. Third is statement of hypothesis. So a hypothesis is a tentative statement about the relationship between two or more variables. So it is specific, testable prediction about what you expect to happen in the study. Okay? So, tingnan natin ano ba yung new format. Naagya po siya, statement of hypothesis. So, let's look on our sample. Ayan. It's a null hypothesis. So, when we say null, naa siya mga no. No, not. O na siya null. Okay? So, the BIRE filing utilization, the independent variable has no significant influence on the dependent variable of your sample. Ano siya. So, naagyo na siya no significant or no something. So, more on sa third na siya, no? Nilagyan lang ng no. Okay, so statement of hypothesis. So, more on null hypothesis. Kung mag-alternative hypothesis tayo, mag-H1, walang no yan. Pero usually, null hypothesis man ta. So, you just use the HO, H0. Okay. Kahawit mo na, class. Where is it? Tagana na kung open eh. After the statement of hypothesis, we have the significance of the study. It provides details to the readers on how the study will contribute. No? Who will contribute to the study and who will benefit from it. It also includes an explanation of the work's importance as well as its potential benefits. So, yung may bago tayo ngayon, tingnan natin kung naka-anchored na ba yung significance of the study here. Ay, naa siya. Global significance. So, kindly screenshot, no? And social impact. Tanawin mo what is the global significance and social impact and sino yung makakontribute. So, it's a paragraph form. Paragraph form na ito. Very good. Paragraph form. Kasi yung dati kasi hindi siya paragraph form. More on, ano yan, katuganing bullet form. So, significance of the study is a paragraph form. Wait mo lang. Bread and cheese mo bang sa pangayo? Okay. So, significance of the study ha. So, take note, hindi na siya bullet form, but in a paragraph form, merong siyang global significance, and if there is also social impact, you will also put it there. And then, katong mga significant individual, say here, butang niya, self-employed taxpayers, nilagay din niya University of Mindanao, future researchers, dapat isalid din si future researcher, ha? So, dili na siya bullet form. So, paragraph form ang ating significance of the study. And then, next is definition of terms. So, this is alphabetical list of important terms or the acronyms that you define operationally, particularly ambiguous terms or those used in a special way. Okay, so yun ang ating definition of terms. Take note, alphabetical list. So, let's look. Yung uban manggod wala pa na alphabetical. So, dapat alphabetical, alphabetical siya. So, kunti lang ang kaniyang definition of terms. Pero sa inyong class, pwede ito the variables used in your study, so you can also put it in a definition of terms. So, ano ba yung mga variables? So, pwede ito, yung mga perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, the perceived credibility, the tax knowledge, yung mga specific variable, you can also put it in the definition of terms. And you need to arrange it alphabetically. So, definition of terms. Okay, question? Next, chapter 2. In chapter 2, this is your review of related literatures. So, meron tayong theoretical framework and the conceptual framework. So, let's look whether on the new format, meron pa rin siya. Okay, naalang gyapon siya, no? The conceptual framework. So, may variables, may synthesis. Take note, ito yung na-include. Synthesis is synthesize. And then, the framework, the conceptual framework. So, nakalimot lagi ang theory. Nanay siya theoretical framework within this one, ha? Theoretical, and then the last is your conceptual framework. So, let's look on our sample. Okay. Ayan, no? Mga variables na ginagamit. So, electronic filings. Of course, naakay introduction to your chapter. And then, the variables used. Sino yung mga from your reviews. No? May mga variables na ginagamit. Okay. Ayan. Mga major variables. And then, dapat, at the last part is synthesis. Wala na siya nagbutang og synthesis, pero meron siyang correlation between measures. Pero sa inyo, dapat meron kayong synthesis. Okay? Synthesis. And then we have your theoretical framework. Okay? So, may mga theory talaga, no? Theory of reason, action, etc. And then, your conceptual framework. Ayan. So, this is your conceptual framework. This is the independent variable and the dependent variable. So, this is your own conceptual framework of your study. Ang theoretical framework from theories or from previous studies. So, pwede yan, no? Okay. Let's go back. With synthesis ang ating literature review. So, a survey of scholarly sources related to a specific topic or research question. So, theoretical framework, if it is the structure that can hold or support a theory of a research study. Okay? There are various theories, so you just research it, ha? Look at it in Google, look it in the ProQuest, etc. Marami tayong mga theories, no? And then your conceptual framework, your illustration, what you expect to find through your research, and your mga variables that you use on your study. And meron tayong figure, no? As what illustrated here. May figure tayo on your conceptual framework. So usually our figure is like this. 2 square or pwede tatlong square, mayroong isa dito. The arrow will go up. No, usually the demographic profile nandito yan sa last sa gitna. The arrow will going up. And of course, this one is the independent variable here, and this one is the dependent variable. So, ganon ang ating conceptual framework. Okay, next, chapter 3. The outline defense is hanggang chapter 3, the methods. Okay, so we have the research design hanggang statistical tools. So, research design, research respondents, we have the research instrument, the data gathering procedures, the data interpretation, and we have also the statistical tool. Okay? The design is the framework of research methods and techniques chosen by a researcher. So, quantitative research, quantimanta. Um, pwede din descriptive quanti, no? Kasi nag-describe man din tayo, no? Tingnan natin ang sample natin. Okay, research design. So, causal design ang ginamit niya. Pwede naman tayo descriptive, correlational, no? Kasi nag-correlate. Pwede man din siya. Descriptive, correlate. Descriptive siya in a way nga gi-describe ang mga level of utilization. Gi-describe man yun. Then, correlational in a way that there is influence. So, pwede man din causal design kasi may cause relationship, no? Okay lang siya. Yan. And then, you also define your respondents here. Who are your respondents? Are those persons who have been invited to participate in a particular study that have actually taken part in the study. So, that's your research respondents. So, usually, our target is 100 or more. 100 or more sample. Okay? So, isip-isip na kayo, no? Kailangan 100 or more. Ha? So, para at least wala tayong problema on the normality. And then, we will also use simple random. Very good. Nag-random sampling siya. Yung iba, they are using convenience sampling. Pwede naman din convenience sampling ang gagamitin. And then, research instrument, you will also describe your research instrument. The modified survey that is adapted from where, kung kaninong author. No, pwede kayo mag-ilagay ninyo talaga. In your outline defense, dapat meron na kayong adapted questionnaire and then you modify it. No? Meron siya. And then, we have also the research data interpretation. That's the first. The process of making sense out of a collection of data that has been processed. Data gathering procedures, and we have the data interpretation. So, data gathering procedures, the technique used to obtain the information used in a research to substantiate the claims made by the writer, and they have your data interpretation, the process of making sense out of a collection of data that has been processed, and your statistical tool. So, let's look on the sample. So, tingnan muna natin if the same ba siya sa ating new format. Gihapon siya, no? Data gathering, the same siya na siya. So, let's look on our sample, okay? So, research instrument, kung saan siya, kung kaninong research instrument ang ginamit niyo. So, you also look your adapted questionnaire, you cite the author, nga kinsa na siya nga author, nga gi-adapt ninyo. And then, you will also describe, no, ilang parts ang inyuhang questionnaire. So, 2 sections ang ginamit niya. The first section, the level, yung ating independent variable. And then, the second section, the dependent variable. Ano siya, no? The research data interpretation, yan, i-interpret, may mga range on how it is interpreted. Okay? Your procedures, the data gathering procedures, it's a paragraph form. You will also, the current situation, the pandemic situation, you will also highlight here how you will get your sample or how will you gather your data, especially during pandemic. So, mga protocols, dapat nabutang siya dili, no? Pero I don't know kung nilagay niya Google Form. They are using Google Form. If there are protocols, if you are going to the store, if you are going to a particular sample site ninyo, You mention the protocols. Huh? Then, the statistical tool, anong ginamit, no? Usually, we have the mean, the standard deviation, we have the regression. If it's relationship, correlation, gani, we can use this one. And we will have also, pwede din factor analysis if you want, no? So, yung mga tool that will address your objectives. Ikuan ninyo, no? Ginamit niya si mean to get to calculate the responses of the individual, to calculate the degree or katong level, pwede doon. Regression, usually, ito ginagamit to answer the third question, katong significant relationship or significant influence. So, it will answer the third objective. So, your statistical tool, i-mention ninyo nga what particular objective ma-address, no? Balik tayo sa ating objective. Say, for example, in our objective here, first, second, third, asa to? Anyway, this is recorded naman din. No? Okay, kini. Usually, to determine the level of the BIR utilization, you are using the mean. No? Mga perceived usefulness, kinuha mo siya using mean. And then, the level of tax compliance, ginagamitan mo din siya ng mean. So, i-mention nyo siya doon, no, to address the objective number 1, which is to determine the level of BIR utilization of self-employed individuals. The researcher used the mean, and then this one also mean. And then this one, you are using the regression analysis to determine the significant influence of the independent variable towards the dependent variable. Ano siya, no? So, i-mention nyo lang siya sa statistical tool. Yan, ha? So, dapat ma-mention na siya para at least dili na kayo hago ang inyong advisor. Okay. Let's look. In chapter 4, kini siya. Let's go back here. This one, gagamitin mo na siya ito after the data gathering. So, meaning you already gathering your data and you go to you run pinarun mo na sa inyong statistician and your statistician give you result, no? Nagbibigay na ng results ang ating statistician in the form of your tables. So, you will put the tables, no, to support your conclusion and your illustration. So, nandito na yung mga comparison or your mga levels or katong mga independent variable mo at saka dependent variables na nandun sa tables and figures. And you will also describe, you rationalize, no? You interpret the data gathered presented. Okay, so let's look on our sample. Ayan. Ayan, no? So, usually, anchored siya sa ating objectives. No? First objective natin is level of BIR e-filing utilization. Diba? Level of BIR. So, ilagay ang tables. Ayan. The format of our table is this one. So, if you observe one space, ayan, this is APA format. Kana siya, ingani good ang format nato, no? And then overall, ingani. So, not all are kanang gibutangan og kanang line, no? Ang line lang natin this one on the description and the overall. Okay? Ayan. And then your explanation first. Mauna ang explanation and then nasa baba ang table and then pwede din another explanation. And then ayan, table 2, you will also you describe what is your table all about. And then, you will also cite some references. No? In your explanation, may mga citation of references. No? It's anchored or it agree with author 1. The same result with with author 2. Not the same result or the proposition of author 3. Ano gani, you describe it there using citation. Ang mga citation natin from the, from the review of related lit. May review ka naman of related lit, no? So, isa-cite mo lang yung mga authors na based on the review na hindi siya the same with your result or the same with your result. Ano na siya? And then, the third table is yung third objectives. Ayan. No? And the decision class, so take note, ang decision reject or do not reject, usually, no? Based on the significance. No? Anyway, your statistician will tell you, no? Significant or not significant. No? Kung significant yan, meaning to say you will reject the null. It's more on the rejection of the null hypothesis, no? Etc. Okay? Ay, 4 minutes na. Okay, next. Findings, conclusion, and recommendation. So, summary of findings provides a discussion for each of the findings aligned with the research objectives. And then your conclusion provides a synthesis and summary of your main points of evidence for the reader, which include the following: the new knowledge, agreement, disagreement with the theoretical framework, and of course, if there is limitation of the study, and you have also your recommendation, no? Suggestion of specific measures or directions. So, tingnan natin na. Summary of findings. So, sample. Okay. Ito yung summary of findings. Okay. Usually, butang yan, 1, 2, 3, no? Usually, addressing the objectives of the study. No? First objective, second objective, and third objective. Okay? So, shows that the level in terms of is high. So, asa man ni siya makuhaan. So, based on the data interpretation, nakita niyo sa data interpretation niyo, katong doon sa third, na meron siyang how to interpret the data. It's high, moderate, or whatsoever. No? Or ano bang level. Ang kulang nito is, hindi niya dimension ang highest and lowest. You can also put it in the findings, the highest and the lowest, based on the tables. Kini. Table niya, say for example, the highest in the table is based on the mean. The highest is perceived ease of use. Okay? Perceived ease of use got the highest mean, and then the lowest is perceived credibility. You can also mention it in the summary of findings, no? Na the highest and the lowest. Ano lang good siya sa summary. And then, based on the interpretation, ito, mga data interpretation, descriptive, high, ana-ana, or magbe-base din siya katong how do you interpret it in the, di ba, naman kay data interpretation here. Okay? Pwede siya dito. Pwede din, no? Based on the data interpretation. So, again, the summary of findings will summarize the results of the study in accordance with the objective of the study. No? We have 3 objectives, so meaning to say we have also 3 paragraphs here. 3 objectives. Kapit na ko mga 1 minute na lang. Okay. And then, conclusion. Sa conclusion here, your own contribution to the knowledge, ito. So, sabi, affirm, you will also put affirm to your theoretical framework, no? Pwede siya, kung nag-affirm. Kung hindi siya nag-affirm, i-mention nyo din in the conclusion. Okay? Ayan. So, this is your own contribution to the body of knowledge. And then, your recommendation is this one, you go back to the significance of the study. Diba? Kay significance of the study. You can mention here in your recommendation, hindi niya nilagay ang social impact at saka global impact. You can also put, there is this one, totoo na ay global impact, na ay social impact, kung merong impact. But if there is none, so you can also mention the specific individual that is mentioned in your significance of the study, di ba? Na-mention yung self-employed, na-mention yung future researchers, and proponents of the study based on the significance of the study. So, pwede niyo siya ilagay on the recommendation. So, dapat ang recommendation doable, meaning to say, ma-achieve, no? Specific and ma-achieve siya. So, yun lang. And then, ano pa ba? Recommendation, and we have some references and appendices. Okay? Ayan, no? So, kana lang siya. Question. Time naman po. Question? Stop presenting. Clarification? Siguro